Hi beautiful people, this is Avantika and welcome to Tattva, welcome to Greater Consciousness. And today I'm going to talk to you about the full moon in September, which is on the 20th, the Autumn Equinox, which is on the 22nd, as well as the 7 planets that are going retrograde. Yes, you heard me right, 7 planets, including Mercury. So we're going to talk about how these alignments is going to affect us and what we can do to make it easier and better for us. Okay, so so the month of September has been extremely powerful, with a lot of events happening. So we had the new moon on the 6th of September, followed by the 9/9 energy portal. Okay, there's a 9th September energy portal where a huge amount of light code frequencies and the galactic frequencies, the crystalline DNA energies to change our energy field have been poured down on earth, and all those who are ready to receive them have been working with them. And this is for each and every one of us. You just have to have the willingness and the openness to receive them. And it is there for us to usher into our spiritual growth. So these crystalline code frequencies have come for our soul purpose, for us to step into our divinity, to accept our authentic truth. And they're also here to upgrade our 2-strand DNA to 12-strand DNA. Yeah. So these energies and frequencies have been very potent. I've done a lot of healing sessions with them, and people are seeing huge shifts. So that's what happened on the 9th of September when the portal opened up, and the energies are still strong. They're still there. Yeah. And on the 20th, we are having the full moon. Yeah, and this full moon is in Pisces. Yeah, now Pisces is a sign which is all about dreaminess and intuition, and it's really going to make you feel for yourself, feel for others, and this is the time. The full moon is a very magical time. Yeah, you can see the whole of the moon shining bright up there in the sky, and it's so enticing, and it's talking to you. It's making you feel full and complete, and it's still got the magic where you can't stop but looking up in the sky. And the full moon is a beautiful time because it's a time when the sun, which actually denotes our external self, what we show ourselves to the outside, to the world, who we are being. Okay, and the moon actually denotes and governs our internal side, that our subconscious mind, our thoughts. Yeah, and when the moon and the sun come together face to face during the full moon, they're actually daring you. They're like, look at the truth. It's time to see your authentic truth. And that's when the entire veil of whatever you're putting, there is no place for you to hide. It's time. The full moon has this tendency of revealing things to you. It's saying, okay, look at the deeper truths. Look at this reality. Yeah, and there's no hiding. You can't do that. You're going to feel everything that you're feeling, and there's no way you're going to go back to who you were being. And these energies actually usher you into your authentic truth, into your spiritual growth. It's asking you to see your truth, asking you to heal the parts that are not working for you, step into your divinity. Yeah, and this full moon is carrying the energies of the Pisces, which is the dreaminess and the intuition, and it's asking you to actually be open to all the new changes that are going to be coming into your life, and to accept everything that you have been trying to push under the carpet, or keep them away, or not willing to see the truth. And this is the time when a lot of people feel very overwhelmed and very emotional, because that's when the moon is governing your internal being, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. And it's a time when you can see your truth. Okay, so that's when obviously you're going to feel overwhelmed. You're going to feel, oh my God, what am I going to do now? And how is this going to be? And that's absolutely fine. One of the most important things for you to do during this full moon, or any full moon, is self-love, and self-acceptance. That's the first step towards healing. Okay, and this full moon is also with the sign in Pisces, is asking you to let down your guard, let go and release your ego, okay, for yourself and everything that you're doing. And it's asking you to be empathetic and sympathize and actually be sensitive not only to yourself but everybody around you. Yeah, and this is a very beautiful time to actually do some kind of social work. Yeah, it could be giving a helping hand. If you have money, you can donate. If you can go and do some kind of service or promote somebody. Anything in the space of gifting, I don't call it giving. You have to gift. When you gift, then you have nothing, no attachments to it. But when you're giving, you subconsciously have something. So this is the time of gifting, the gift of you. What you can do for the society, for for the greater consciousness, the gift of you, what talents, abilities you have that you can share with everybody around you. Yeah, and this is the time when your intuition is going to heighten. You are going to get all these beautiful thought processes for the future. So write them in a journal, keep them there. Don't get overwhelmed. A lot of you might even get something that you need to do for a way bigger future. So don't get overwhelmed. Yes, I know you are, or you might be on an emotional roller coaster ride, but this is the time to use the energy and the magic of the full moon to see your truth. Yeah, and that's when the healing starts happening, when you're willing to accept it. And don't be so hard on yourself. Yeah, don't be so hard on yourself. So it's also for a lot of you, it might be a time when you feel that something is coming to an end. It could be a job, a relationship, something that you're doing, because the sun Pisces is the last in the zodiac sign, and it also talks about the end. So you could feel that something is getting over. Yeah, so have the courage to let go. Yeah, we are so used to being in this space of holding on to things because we know, nothing otherwise. That habit has been so long when you're used to something, and to step into it new can be a little scary, a little overwhelming. But have the courage. If you think, ask yourself, truth, is it time to let go of this? Okay, is it time to move on? Yeah, and ask for help. It could be in the form of healing or asking a friend, or ask for help in any way that you require to get that courage to step into that space, to see your truth. Yeah, and trust me, the universe has your back. The universe is there to help you. Your masters, your angels, they all are there. Yeah, so this full moon could also remind you to actually go into this imagination, because Pisces is all about imagination and looking beyond. So if you are having any crazy imaginations or ideas, write them down. Okay, pin them down. You never know. We never thought that we could have a car which drives itself, but today we have the Tesla. So for all those who at that time dreamt of a car that could park itself, drive itself, a lot of people might have thought you are cuckoo, but today, look at it. So we never know what's happening and how your dreams could come into reality, or your imagination could take wings and fly. So, listen to your heart. Your heart is the most important space. Listen to your heart. You are the most important thing, yeah? And this full moon could be a little overwhelming. It could be a little emotional, and it's okay. There are a lot of things that you can do in this time. Okay, and the energies of the full moon are very powerful around 2 or 3 days before the full moon and a few days after. And since that span of 7 to 10 days can be very crazy, the things you can do is, one, have a saltwater bath. It really helps. Yeah, it helps you clear your thought process, makes you lighter, releases all the dense energies. You could do a lot of journaling, write down your thoughts, feelings, emotions. You could have lovely long beautiful baths with essential oils and salts. Just pamper yourself, self-love, loving yourself, being with yourself. It's not about loneliness. It's about enjoying the company of you. You enjoying the company of you. And yes, it does take time for those for whom it's very, very difficult. I just recently had one of my clients tell me that, Avantika, after your healing, it was the first time, she's around 50, so from the time she got married at 21, it's the first time I went out by myself and I had an entire meal and coffee, and I can't imagine, I've never stepped out of the house by myself, and it was such a big achievement for her. So this is the time to take those small courageous steps to whatever is important for you. And she's like, I enjoyed the company of me. I always thought I would be lonely and it would be scary and I wouldn't know whom to talk to, but I took a book and I had a pen and a paper and I spent time with me and I enjoyed my meal. And I'm feeling so proud of myself. And that was such a beautiful sharing on her behalf. So this is the time for self-love. So that's what you can do. You can detox, and if you have any crazy vivid dreams with a lot of imagination, just write them down, keep them. You never know, a few years hence, everything I've written in my journal is almost coming true. so you can do that. Another thing to do for the full moon is also detox. And also look at the bigger picture, because the full moon is also about manifestation. Depends on how you're willing to receive and work with the energies, because the moon is magical at all times. And last but not the least, what's most important is you could also meditate. So I've given you these certain tips and tools that you can use for this full moon. Use them, enjoy them. If you think you're having a crazy roller coaster ride with something, you know where to connect with me, and I am there. We could definitely do something to help you with it. So this is the time for self-love, for self-healing, to be the authentic truth, to truly be who you are. Accept yourself, self-acceptance, because this full moon is going to reveal to you everything that you've been shoving under the carpet. So have the courage, have the strength, and don't worry. Your angels, your masters are there to guide you. Your friends and people, reach out. Lots of love and light to each and every one of you. And in the next section, I will be talking to you about the autumn equinox. So stay along with me and I'll catch you soon. Enjoy the magic of the moon. Love yourself, take care, and God bless. Bye. Hi beautiful people, this is Avantika and welcome to Tattva, welcome to Greater Consciousness. And today I'm going to talk to you about the autumn equinox. Now equinox is in Latin means equal night. So the autumn equinox is happening in the northern hemisphere on the 22nd of September, and it is a very, very beautiful and important day of the year, because that is the day when the sun directly shines on the equator, giving us an equal number of hours of day and night. So we are actually honoring the dark as well as the light. So we have 12 hours of day, 12 hours of night, and it is telling us about being in balance in all forms, in all ways of our life. It's just the way the nature and the universe is telling us. And we have the equinox happening twice a year. We have the spring equinox, which happens in March, on the 21st and the 22nd of March. And we have the autumn equinox, which happens in September. And this year it's happening on the 22nd of September. So it's the time for honoring the harvest. As you know that the September full moon is also known as the harvest full moon. And by harvest, I mean the things that you have actually planted in your garden and your fields. Or harvest could also be the harvest of all the efforts and the intentions of your life that you have planted maybe earlier this year or few years before that. All your intentions, your thoughts, your actions, it's time to harvest that. So this is a very beautiful time, and it's a very important time in our spiritual journey as well. As it marks a day of harvesting whatever we are looking at. So it's time for self-reflection. It's time for honoring a journey, how far we have come, how much we have grown, all the actions we have done, all the work we have done. It's time to look back, reflect, and honor that. Yeah, it is a very beautiful time because it's the time for moving into gratitude, into what we are doing, and to shift our energies from the energies of lack or poverty mentality or energies consciousness to moving into abundance. Yeah, it's about showing gratitude, speaking the gratitude, feeling the gratitude. It's a very beautiful time because you can actually call and thank people who have helped you in your journey, things that you're grateful for. A lot of times we're so focused on the things that have not worked or not happened. We miss out on knowing and acknowledging all the beautiful things that have worked for us. Our journey and our experiences involve both the happy experiences, the crazy ones. So it's about honoring the light and the dark, about being in balance. Yeah, and this is also a time for us to have greater room for our visions, because it's time for us to go into a space of hibernation, because winter's coming in. Besides this day, slowly the days are going to become shorter and the nights are going to be longer, and the darkness is a beautiful space for going within, because as the darkness descends upon us, it is time for us to go within, within our hearts, within our life, to kind of see where we are. Okay, and a lot of times winter is associated with hibernation, but it's not about the kind of hibernation we think about. It's more about rest. Okay, it's more about taking time for yourself, looking at the bigger picture, looking at how far you've come, putting up new intentions. It's not more about doing, okay, the action steps. It's more about becoming, being that energy, resting. Okay, it's time to just become quiet and listen to your inner self, listen to the light that is trying to merge within you, for what is meant for you to be, for who you are becoming, where you are going. It's time for us to activate a new cycle of growth. Yeah, it's time for us to become silent and rest and quiet and listen to our own higher self, to go within, to create greater space. It's also time for us to think what else that I can do or be for the next spring season. It's about planning for the future as well. So this time is very beautiful. Take that time to rest. Take that time to go within. Take that time to acknowledge everything that you have done for so long, for the journey that you have come through, where you have come. Enjoy the harvest of your fruits. Know that there is so much more you can do. Reflect upon it, show gratitude. This is a beautiful time, and the most beautiful part is where you have to look into your life and see, how can I be in balance? Because balance is the key to everything. Anything excess or anything less of anything is not going to create for you. So when you are in balance and you do things, that is when the creation is to the maximum. Yeah, so enjoy this time of the equinox, meditate. Okay, I invite you to honor the light within you. It is a time to become quiet, to rest, to be with yourself, to honor your journey for how far you have come. Be in gratitude. Yeah, and you could do something as simple as say a simple affirmation that I honor the light within me. I am love and I am light. I am that I am. And I honor the light within me. And I honor the darkness also, because when it is dark, that's when you can see all the stars shining, and it's time for you to shine as well. So be in this beautiful energy. Honor the light and dark in your life. Acknowledge how far you have come. Enjoy the energies of the autumn equinox. It's a beautiful time. Yeah, lots of love and light to each and every one of you. Take care and God bless. Bye. Hi beautiful people, this is Avantika and welcome to Tattva, welcome to Greater Consciousness, and I'm going to talk to you today about the 7 planets which are in retrograde. And yes, the universe is playing a lot of fun and chaos with us, because when planets go into retrograde they can really create a lot of excitement, and you can call it chaos, a lot of changes in the way we think, and some of them come for inner transformation, some of them ask you to look at the truth in your life, and each planet has its own magnificence and significance, and each one is teaching us something. But when 7 planets go retrograde, it can be quite a challenging situation. And yes, I'm already feeling the energies of it, and I'm sure most of you are as well. Some of them could be like emotions going wild. Some of them could, some of you might be feeling that you're losing control of what is happening. There could be procrastination, there could be overthinking. You could also have symptoms like headaches and body aches and sudden merging of certain illnesses like sudden high fever or body ache, or you feel that you're not being understood, or the communication has gone wild. You're saying something, somebody's understanding something, or you suddenly feel certain patterns in your life are being shown, like some karmic patterns. So there's a lot that is happening, and we have 7 planets in retrograde, and I'm going to tell you about all of them and what they are going to be doing for us, or what they're already working on us. And I'm going to take help of my notes because this is too much to register at one go. So yes, and when planets go retrograde, there's not much you can do. You can just do the best you can for yourself, and that is being in balance, being quiet, being with yourself. And for those who are wondering what is retrograde, okay, retrograde is when the planets move in the opposite direction, okay, and it can be quite an awkward and frustrating and unimaginable crazy situations when this happens. And the planets like to go retrograde. They like to go in the opposite direction sometimes, and all I can do is just tell you to take a deep breath, and understanding this will open up a lot of greater understanding into your own life, and maybe you can understand why certain things are happening for you. And I always believe that when you understand why things are happening, it's easier to accept and know that, okay, fine, this is what is happening, and let's see what else I can do, or what more I can create from here. Okay, so let's see. The first planet I'm going to talk to you about is Pluto, and it's been in retrograde from the 27th of September, 27th of April, and it's been in retrograde from the 27th of April 2021 till October 6th. Okay, now Pluto is a planet of death and rebirth, and it's a planet of inner transformation. It really ushers you the whole space of inner transformation, and when it's in retrograde, it just expands that energy. So that is one thing. It's also a planet that rules over control and manipulation and your dark impulses. So what happens is you realize in your life where there is control, where there is manipulation, or are you doing it, or is somebody else doing it for you? There's a lot of awareness that comes around it. And when Pluto grows into retrograde, it actually kind of clears this or drops this, allowing you to see the truth. Maybe in a relationship, or when it's with your boss, or certain things, or you realize you're being manipulated. And when this structure of manipulation and control and these power structures are actually dismantled in Pluto, you can start seeing the truth in a lot of things. Okay, so yes, so Pluto is here for us to actually encourage you to slowly make place for something new, let go of the old, and move into the space of inner transformations and spiritual growth. So next we have up is Saturn, which has been in retrograde from the 23rd of May and will be in retrograde till the 10th of October. Now Saturn as you know, is a very, very strong planet, and it is also a planet for karma. Yeah, it kind of rules karma. And when Saturn goes into retrograde, this incredible planet encourages responsibility and discipline and maturity. And Saturn is a planet which actually asks us to what do you say? It's more discipline. It asks us to be who we truly are and be much more organized and take our responsibilities in life and actually do the action steps that is required. It's a very, very strict planet, okay? But when it goes into retrograde, it kind of relaxes. But it also means that it's it's helping you take a break from the intense scrutiny that you are under when Saturn is around. And it's asking you to actually reflect and think about your ethics, your efforts, and giving you that energy to be much more organized, much more disciplined. It's saying, okay, buck up, let's do it. It's not so bad. And Saturn being also the planet that governs karma, a lot of you might see certain patterns in your life. You might have certain karmic relationships coming up for healing, ancestral healing. All of this is going to be the theme. Okay, it has been for a while, and it is going to be till the 10th of October, and even a little beyond that, because some strong planets like Mercury, Saturn, they have energies that linger on even after the retrograde period, from the time that they're moving backwards to when they start moving forward. There is a slight space between the two energies, time frame between the two energies, when you can still very strongly feel that. Yeah. Okay, so next up is Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is a planet of expansion and adventure and wisdom and spontaneity. Okay, and it has been retrograde from June 20th, and it will be till the 18th of October. Yeah, so a lot of planets which were already being in retrograde earlier this year are kind of going to go direct in October. So October is going to be an exciting time. So luckily for us, even if all these planets are in retrograde right now, it's soon going to come to end by October. So yay, that's good news, But right now we are working under 7 planets retrograde, and that can be quite overwhelming. Yeah. So when Jupiter goes retrograde, it's actually kind of becomes much more modest, and it lies low, because Jupiter is a very, very loud planet. It enhances everything. It's a very, very strong planet. It gives growth to almost anything and everything that you're looking for or doing, and it's very flamboyant. But when it goes in retrograde, it becomes much more modest, and it also encourages internal growth and expansion on your spiritual side. So a lot of you might suddenly want to move into spirituality, or learn certain healing modalities, or start looking at your life from a spiritual space, getting connected to maybe healers or various modalities or scripture. So the planet allows you to grow and expand and look beyond, and the retrograde is a time when it's asking you to move into the spiritual space of your journey. Okay, encouraging you the internal growth. It's about growing within before you become big and flamboyant and loud. It's the internal growth is what that you need to look at right now, and that is what Jupiter is telling you. Okay, the next we have Neptune, which has also been retrograde from June 25th, and it'll end by December 1st. Okay, now Neptune is a planet, it's a dreamer planet. Okay, it's a dreamier planet. It's filled with imagination and intuition, and attached to your subconscious mind and your ability to transcend in reality. Okay, now what happens is Neptune gives a lot of illusions, and it can give you a lot of disorientation. But when it goes into retrograde, what happens is you are completely stripped of all the illusions and all the dreaminess, and it's asking you to see the truth. It completely brings you to reality. It says, Okay, look at the picture the way it is. Look at your life the way it is. Look at the situation the way it is. And it's been doing that since June 25th. And I've had a lot of people who have come into awareness. They're like, Avantika, this relationship is not working for me, this job is not working for me, I'm seeing things in different light, in different ways, in different picture. And it's happened a lot for me as well, things, when all the illusion is gone and you are just left with the raw truth, it's a different awakening in itself. And this is the time for healing. All these planets have gone into retrograde for you to look within you, for you to be your authentic truth. And that has actually been the theme for 2021. It's all about you. Okay? And when you start living your authentic truth, that is when transformation begins. Okay, so that is what Neptune is telling you, is helping you see deeper clarity and the truth around you. Okay, just drop all the illusions and see pink as pink or red as red, an apple for an apple and not for an orange. Okay, so that's what Neptune's here for. Now next we have Chiron, which has been so Chiron is not really a planet, it's more like an asteroid, but it's very, very powerful. And it actually works a lot, even if it's not a planet. It actually influences us and a lot. Okay, now Chiron has been retrograde since July 15th, and it will be till the 19th of December. So we still have a long time with Chiron. And Chiron has this amazing ability to help you connect with your insecurities and your vulnerability. And it is the planet which actually helps you connect with your deep and innermost wounds, things that you don't want to look at, things that you've closed, shut down, and just put it under the blanket or the carpet, not willing to see it, not willing to look at it. And what Chiron does is shakes you up. It's like, really dusting the rug and allowing each and every of that within you to just shake up and come out. And Chiron is actually asking you or revealing you those innermost wounds, so that you can start healing them. Okay, that is when you start healing those wounds, a lot of things will change and shift in your life. Okay, and it's time for you to look deep within your heart, to truly embrace your emotional struggles that you have been ignoring for a very, very long time. And when you start being more sensitive and vulnerable, and you start seeing the truth, because Neptune is showing you the truth, and Jupiter is asking you to go into the spiritual journey, and here Chiron going retrograde is encouraging you to start healing those wounds. Look at the truth. It's time to heal. It's time to, just let them go and move on. Yeah, embrace the truth, the emotional, sensitive part of you. So if you are feeling very overwhelmed right now, because when just Chiron being in retrograde is one part of it. Like over these few months since July, I've had a lot of people who have started looking at certain things that have been deeply buried. I took a session for somebody, and she was suffering from a health issue. But when we actually went deep into looking at where that core issue was coming from, because she was having a health issue, a physical health issue, but the root cause of it was more got to do with abuse that she had experienced in childhood, or and those wounds were so raw and so deep, and she was not willing to look at it. She thought covering them would be fine because today she's in a happier place. But those were the ones which were actually kind of coming up in her conscious, subconscious space, and affecting her in her physical body. So that is how Chiron works. And when you start healing the innermost wounds, a lot of things in your life starts falling into place. So that is about Chiron. And then you have Uranus, which has been retrograde from August 19th, and it will be till January 18, 2022. Now, Uranus is a very, very unpredictable planet, and it's all about futuristic thinking, thinking beyond. So, a lot of you this year must have had thoughts, visions, ideas which you think, I don't know how to do them, I don't know what is going to happen. Like I explained to you earlier, like the Tesla car, you never thought it would happen, a car that drives itself. But it's like about these beautiful visions which are for the future, which you don't know how, when, if it's even possible. But if you are having these visions, it's time to write them, pen them down, and think beyond, okay? And this is when when Uranus goes into retrograde, it allows and encourages you with the inward change. It asks you to, look at things like, though you have the visions and everything, it's time for you, when it goes retrograde, it goes in this energy of asking you to be much looking at the journey within, that how it's about being more independent, it's about being more authentic. Because as you might have all these visions for the future and all of that, the action steps, a lot of us don't believe in the visions we have and the dreams we have, because we need to start trusting ourselves, our own intuitions, our own actions. Because unless we don't trust or believe in what we see or imagine, how can you put them in action? How can you create greater from that? Okay, because as I always say, the visions and dreams are coming to you because you are supposed to be the creator for it. Yeah, and when it goes retrograde, it's asking you to be more independent. It's asking you to be your authentic personality. It's encouraging you to embrace you, okay, and learning to believe more in yourself and trusting yourself. Okay, so last but not the least, we have Mercury, which is going retrograde on the 27th of September till October 18th. And yes, lucky us, this is the last Mercury retrograde of the year. So I'm quite excited about that, because Mercury retrograde has been, when Mercury goes retrograde, there's a lot of chaos that you experience, not only because most of the other planets, you feel the chaos happening deep within, what you're feeling inside and all of that. But Mercury, when it goes retrograde, you can actually see what's happening, actually feel and sense it. So Mercury is a planet of communication. So that's when all hell releases loose, and communication is crazy. It's like I always explain, it's when your thinking mind and what you speak, the plug between that is somebody's ripped it off. So sometimes you're thinking something and there are different words coming out of your mouth. So time for a lot of miscommunication. So be mindful of what you speak and what you say to people. The least you keep the communication, the better. Check your emails twice. Not the time to get into any new contracts or start new ventures. Take this time as a breather to relook over things, okay? Because the logic and communication and there's no logic to anything, okay? And communication is important because from your computers to your network to your mobiles, everything is about communication. And a lot of times systems will just fall apart. Then you'll have power cuts, you'll have in the middle of the meeting something's happening. So this is something that you experience right here, network going off. A lot of times in the past I've had just my mobile just shutting off or going off to sleep in Mercury retrograde. A lot of people will have miscommunication in their relationships as well. I mean, the tiniest thing could flare up into something big and crazy breakups. So be mindful, give the benefit of doubt, be open, be thoughtful. Okay, know that Mercury is actually throwing you off the track with any form of communication. Okay, now though I said that there will be delays and malfunctionings in everything that you do, or like I said, check your emails twice, be careful of what you're putting on, not the time for signing anything legal or any contracts. Do not do that. Take this time off for all of that. Relook at your work. okay? And don't, you know, it's not the time to start new projects. It's also an opportunity to return to unfinished ones, okay? Go back, finish the ones which are still there. Yeah, that is the time. And Mercury also brings you more present to um, how you interact with people. Yeah, and it's actually ushering you or pushing you into being quiet, being with yourself, going within. So yes, the are the seven planets which are in retrograde right now, um, and they are here. Like you have Pluto, which is actually, so you have Pluto and you have Uranus, you have Chiron. All of them have come here for for ushering you into spiritual growth, transformation, asking you to look within, okay, and being mindful of your communication. So these planets always come to teach us, and as chaotic as they might be, this is the time for you to be with you. And I think with the full moon and the equinox and the seven planets going retrograde, all I can say is take a deep breath, center yourself, be in balance, do whatever it takes to be calm and more composed. Know that there's a lot of help available. This is the time for you to heal, okay, your innermost wounds, things that have been on your cards for a long time. It could be in the part of relationships. As I say, everything that's happening on the outside of you is actually, that's going wrong, is actually asking for healing to happen inside of you. See, it's all about you, okay? Everything begins with you. Yeah, so when you start healing aspects of yourself, when you start looking within, yeah, that's when the change happens, and that's when things on the outside start falling into place. Yeah, so lots of love and light to each and every one of you, wishing you healing, love, light, abundance, a lot of peace and joy. And I know that this is a very overwhelming time for me as well. Yeah, it's really been quite crazy. I've been trying to get myself to do these videos for a long time, and something or the other kept coming. And like I said, the energies of all these planets when they go retrograde. So right now also, though Mercury retrograde starts on the 27th, it's already preparing itself for going in the opposite direction. So a lot of people might be feeling these energies right now as well. So stay in them, be calm, be composed. There's a lot of help available. Reach out, detox, center yourself, be grounded, and do whatever it takes. Okay, this is your life, your journey. It's all about you. So the more you are happier and the more you're becoming you, your authentic self, and living the life you truly want and desire, that is where happiness begins. Yeah, so lots of love and light to each and every one of you. God bless, and thank you so much in complete love and gratitude to each and every one of you being here with me in this session. Yeah, thank you. God bless and take care. Bye.